Welcome to People Doing Good for Others. I'm Gary York, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. We're going to celebrate and highlight and hold in the light today a wonderful person who's making a significant difference in our community. I want to thank Wilkes Communications and River Street Productions and 100.9 WIFM for this special day. My guest today is Cindy Pardue. She's the executive director of the Wilkes Art Gallery. She's been there 4 years, and the gallery opened in 1962, and we want to share its important role in our community. So good morning to you, Cindy Pardue.
Good morning.
We met last week at the gallery, and it's on C Street, 913. Such a beautiful building that was a former post office, I believe.
Yes.
And we were preparing for an event that would happen Friday night. Tell us what was going on the big table there in your conference room.
Well, in North Wilkesboro, they have Light Up Downtown every year in November, and we do Reindeer Land. And so we order all these reindeer antlers for the children, and some adults actually like to wear them too, and we paint their faces with little red noses and put reindeer paint on their cheeks. Oh. And we offer Santa letters to all the children, and we probably saw about 300 kids that night. 300? Mm-hmm. Wow.
So get a little bit more about the light up of the community. Tell us about that.
Well, Light Up Downtown, they close off the streets, and they have hay rides, and they have a live nativity scene in the across from Elsewhere's restaurant there in that little Ruatan Park. Mm-hmm. And they have other face painting, and the whole streets are just full of people walking around, and at 6 o'clock they turn all the lights on for the Christmas holiday.
Okay. Tell us about your involvement and relationship with art and how you started as I think you said a 3-year-old. Just tell us about art.
Well, as a small child, I remember looking at a lot of what we called picture books. Anytime I could find a book that had lots of pictures in it, I would look at every detail of the picture, because to me, I couldn't read, so the pictures would tell me the stories. Okay. Or I thought they would, until I learned to read, and my aunts and uncles would read to me. But I always enjoyed any kind of art when it come to building a dollhouse out of cardboard boxes. Okay. Or just doing any kind of creation. That was just something that I enjoyed very, very much. So as I was going to school, when I was in middle school or grade school, we got art maybe every 2 weeks. And I remember thinking how exciting I was when the little cart and the little art teacher would come rolling around in the halls to teach us an art class. Wow. Cindy Pardue, you've been with the art gallery for 4 years. How'd that start, that connection and relationship? Just tell us how you became the director. Well, I've always kind of been involved with the gallery, taking classes at the gallery. When I was in my early 20s, I had moved to Wilkesboro from West Jefferson, and started taking some drawing classes with Carolina Finley. And she was teaching drawing at the art gallery when it was on Trogdon Street. And then I took watercolor classes with Sam Vickery. I took pottery classes with Sarah Mills. Oh my goodness. So I was always involved with the arts, and going to the art gallery for their openings and looking at the art. So I decided that I wanted to go back to school and get an art degree, because art just seemed to be my passion. And Tamara Grayson was the art teacher at the community college at the time, and I took art classes with her. And then went on to Appalachian to get my degree in art marketing. So the art gallery, you know, has been around for a long time, so it was like, I just always was excited that we had an art gallery in North Wilkesboro, because a lot of towns don't have art galleries. But it was important for me to have a place to take art classes as a young adult. So that's kind of I started.
The draw, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or your calling in art. Share with us. How does it? What does it mean to you? You know, when you were doing a picture, or just give us some idea of how does it.
Well, anytime that I'm doing art, or probably any artist is doing art, they're pretty much so into their work, they're just in their bliss of doing the bliss of doing something, of creating something. And art will take you for hours and hours. You'll work on it. Time will go by. You won't eat. You won't drink anything. You'll just be working on your art project. And that's something that all artists experience. You know, they have to make themselves take breaks and eat lunch, and because
Oh my.
It's a passion.
It's a fascination then.
Of just creating something.
Creating.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go straight to the rotation. Let's back up. What did I see in the gallery when I was there last week? Just give us some idea of what was there for me to be fascinated about seeing.
Well, right now in the gallery we have a exhibit, and it's a Tracy Adams exhibit, which was a local artist here, and he lived and painted his whole life, and he painted a lot of local factories and landscapes and old homes here in Wilkes County, and he passed away this last summer. We had planned to show his work, but we have a fraction of his artwork right now in the front gallery. In the main gallery we have two couples that do art together, husband and wife. The local artist that we have right now is Kevin Aida and Gilda Aida. Kevin paints, and Gilda is a potter, and we have Jacob Daniels and Melina Daniels, which is from Blowing Rock, and she's a potter and he's a painter. A beautiful exhibit, and if you have a chance, you should see this before it goes out of the gallery the first of the year. We change out exhibits every month.
Okay.
So everything will be a new show every month.
So you plan that far ahead, then you'll find folks who, is it somewhat of a theme each month, or?
No.
How about carry that a little further, if you will?
The gallery is a pretty big space. We have 3,500 square feet to fill up with artwork. So my goal is for an exhibit to find 4 or 5 artists that gives you a variety of art. So
Okay.
you may come in, you may see some watercolor, you may see some realistic paintings, you may see oil paintings, you may see sculptures, you may see glass. But I try to make a variety of art, so there's something there for everybody, that when they walk in, they're captured in there for a while, that they can look around and see something.
I felt that way.
You did?
I did. You know, I was just like, wow, I didn't know this.
Yeah, and that's kind of a way, when I used to go to art galleries, when me and my husband would travel anytime, I always seeked out the art galleries in the towns we were at. And I was always amazed that, you know, if you're walking around in a gallery and it's all one thing, you kind of don't see it after a while. It's like the same thing over and over and over, even if it's the same artist. But if you have a variety of art, then it keeps your attention longer. And then, you know, you're walking to the next piece and the next piece, and you're seeing something different. And I've had people come in the gallery and be in there for 2 hours, just walking around and looking, you know, at each piece and how it's made. And, you know, one of the things when people walk in our door, I want to greet them and explain to them about the exhibit. You know, how did you find us? You know, are you from Wilkesboro? Where are you from? And our exhibit is about this artist, and this is what this artist does, so that they have a background a little bit.
So you can share the history and where the person maybe lives and all the real things about people.
Well, when I would walk in a gallery as a young girl, I would always, I want some background. Tell me about this.
Wow.
Tell me about this artist. Tell me where he's from. give me a little bit of information, and then I want to look around and look at the art. So I try to do that with each all the people that come in the gallery, and all the staff. I tell them, greet the people and tell them about the artist, tell them about the exhibit, and if they have any questions, so that they feel open to come and ask us questions if they have questions. Because a lot of art galleries, stigma is you walk into a gallery and nobody says anything, or
Okay.
you walk into a gallery and you don't see anybody. You just walk around and look at something.
right.
And lots of times I would go to the desk and ask for information.
Sure.
So that's important that people are greeted
Right.
and
So
have
there's a
some
personal
background.
touch at the Wilkes Art Gallery. Yeah. You want to connect with people that, so you make it a point of meeting them at the door and give them a tour if they want one.
Yep.
Yeah. Where is the gallery? When is it open?
The gallery's in North Wilkesboro on C Street, 913 C Street. We're open Tuesday through Friday from 10 until 5, and we're open on Saturdays from 10 till 2.
Okay. Your staff. Let's talk about the individuals that serve the gallery.
Right now we have a staff of 3 other girls besides me, so there's 4 of us there. We have a girl that does all of our grant writing, because now the Wilkes Art Gallery also takes care of the grassroots grants that the state offers. And she also writes for other grants to help us do programs for children, for high school kids, for adults, for unprivileged people that need art classes. And then Madeline, Felicia is our grant writer. Madeline is our educator coordinator. So what her job is to help find the instructors to teach the art classes there.
Oh, wow.
And help book the classes. And she's also the one that takes the money and watches the gift shop, because we have a really nice gift shop there.
Gift shop. Okay.
And that's all local and regional artists.
The last names, did you mention the last names?
Felicia Damer and Madeline Johnson.
Okay.
And then we have Gilda Aida that's in the basement of the gallery. She takes care of all of our pottery studios. So we have someone that's firing all of our pottery and helping keep the glazes stocked and the clay stocked and the classrooms organized, so that we have everything we need in our classrooms when the classes are going.
So the pottery is like an ongoing department for you at all times. That people are training there.
Yeah, we have about 6 classes right now at the gallery.
You do?
Yeah, we have a class just about every night of the week. So Tuesday afternoon we have portfolio class, and that's actually came through a grant through Walmart to help us help high school students prepare their artwork in a portfolio, so that they're prepared to go to college and do the presentation of their portfolio. And it's also open to the adults that are trying to get jobs in the art field, to help them present their art. So we've had that ongoing on Tuesday afternoons. Wednesdays we have a knitting class with Cynthia Sturdivant that's been there 20 or 25 years. Knitting. And she has a class of anywhere from 10 to 15 ladies, and they're there every Wednesday and have been for a long time. And then on Thursday we have after school art for children from 9 to 12 years old. And then we also have our pottery classes, Monday and Thursdays. We have 4 of those classes. So we have a hand building class for pottery on Monday afternoon, and then we have a wheel class on Monday night. We have hand building class Thursday afternoon and a wheel class for pottery on Thursday nights. And we have a watercolor class on Thursday nights also. I think that's all.
Your specialty, you said you love to you're an artist. What do you enjoy doing?
Well, when I was in college, I took a variety of art classes, because when you do art marketing, you just take a little bit of everything. And I took painting and fibers and metals and jewelry, graphic design. I took a little bit of everything, but until I got out of school is the art that I end up having more is the stained glass.
Stained glass.
I learned how to do stained glass, and that's the art that I've stuck with. And I did stained glass for 20 years while my children were in school, and I have a studio at home.
Do you? Let's talk some more about that. How does it start if you're getting ready to maybe do something in a church? Tell us about how that works.
Well, what you would do is sit down with your clients and talk about what it is they want to see in their windows. So then you have to draw up designs or show them designs and talk about color theory. And then you're going to start measuring after everybody agrees of what they want to see in their windows. And I always tell everybody, because I did a lot of private homes also, is, you know, you're going to look at this window a long time. So I want you to be happy with it. And I want you to be a part of helping what you want to see in there, because this window is going to be here for a long, long time. And then you measure. You measure 15 times. You measure 20 times. You got to make sure that window fits. So
oh my goodness.
Then you start drawing your pattern and getting your design on your pattern so you can start cutting your glass.
Are you teaching that now?
No,
Did you say that?
I don't teach it because I really don't have time with the management of the gallery, but I have had some classes there. Finding instructors is a little difficult in stained glass right now because there's not as many people doing it anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, we've had stained glass classes at the gallery.
Okay. Cindy Pardue, what is an art party?
An art party is where we hire an artist to come in, and you come in and you stay for 2 hours. This artist will help you, guide you step by step to paint a painting in 2 hours. And you come to the gallery. We have these once a month, and these paintings come out very nice. We usually have 6 to 15 students at a time.
Oh my goodness.
Some people bring their office staff. We've had office staff. We've had groups of
so it's kind of entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We serve hors d'oeuvres while they're there, and they bring their own beverage, whatever they want to drink. They bring that with them, and it's called an art party.
Okay. Wow. And give me an idea of, so a person might have an art party based around watercolor, for instance?
Most of them are acrylic, just because acrylics are forgiving. And most of everybody that comes to an art party may have never picked up a brush before in their life. So they're very nervous, they're very scared. And I tell people, don't be afraid of art, it's not going to hurt you. Because people are really scared of trying to paint a painting because they don't know what they don't know. So it's an introduction, I guess, to painting a painting. And they're always so amazed at the end of the class that they actually painted a painting.
Wow.
If you go on our website, wilkesartgallery.org, you can see pictures of these art parties and their success.
You shared with me about artists and and the contact, and the person would bring his or her art. You'd have to repaint the walls and get it ready for them and put it up. And sometime in 30 days, a beautiful piece is sold. You wanted to share how excited the artist is and that emotion of this was me, and now it belongs to someone who wanted to have it in his or her home. Tell about that.
Well, when an artist creates a piece of artwork, they're putting their heart and soul in this art.
Right.
That's a part of them, and they're very nervous about showing their work. Sometimes they need some awarding. They're in their studios by themselves painting and creating, and nobody's coming in saying you're doing a good job. Nobody tells them that. So when they're getting ready to put their stuff on a display for an art gallery, they're very nervous that people, are they going to like it? Are they going to think it's good or they're not? They're real nervous about that. So it's real important for artists to get some feedback even it's just question, ask me about my artwork and I'll tell you, what was that artist thinking when he painted that painting or sculpted that, piece of sculpture, or, why did he do that? Why did he do that particular piece of artwork? And when an artist sells a piece of artwork, it's very exciting. I mean, it's like that's his reward, that's his gratification of thinking,
Gratification.
oh, somebody liked my work.
Wow.
And it makes me feel so good inside. An artist told me one time, she says, if people only knew how excited artists got when they bought our art.
Yeah.
And they don't think about that. When you shop, you just buy things. But when you're buying art, it's different. I mean, think about how much the Da Vinci painting just brought.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know anything else in the world that brings as much as art? I mean, I don't.
Cindy Pardue, the executive director of the Wilkes Art Gallery. Go back to 1962 from what you've gathered about how this wonderful thing that we're gifting our community, how that happened.
Well, I've heard stories throughout the time that I've lived in Wilkes County, and one of our local artists, Ward Nichols, have told me a lot of stories about Annie Winkler. Annie Winkler was the lady that started the Wilkes Art Gallery in her basement in 1962, and she would go around to people that she knew that were artists, painting, and get their work and display them in her basement. And Ward said she was one of these women that would just come in and just, unannounced, and he would be painting a painting and she would just say, I want that painting, and she'd take it, and he said it'd still be wet. She'd put her thumbprint in my painting. He said, and I was just like, okay. He said I wasn't gonna say no, because she was just one of these ladies that just come in and took over. And she started the Wilkes Art Gallery in 1962, and it moved from her basement to a building on 115, and from there it went to Trogdon Street, and she was involved in the arts, of getting the art started here in Wilkes County.
And how did your foundation, I suppose, the building, beautiful building, do you know about how that happened?
Well, that was in like 2002. And the building was the old post office, and then after that it was the library of Wilkesboro.
Okay.
And then it needed a lot of renovation, so everybody agreed that it would make a really nice art gallery. So they had to raise a lot of money to redo the building, and the town of North Wilkesboro gives us the building to have the art gallery in. And we're very grateful for that, because it makes a perfect gallery.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How about that? Thank you. And back to the transforming, or some art goes out and others coming in. You told me about fixing the walls. Tell about what all goes on with your staff to get ready for the next presentation.
Well, it takes us about a week to take a show down, patch the walls, and paint the patches, and get everything ready again for the next show. We have to gather all the information from our artists, like our artist bios. We have to get the list of all the art that's coming in and make labels for it. We have to advertise it. And then we have to lay the show out. That takes us about a day.
Okay.
And one of my board members helps me do that.
Same one?
Rick Stevens.
Rick Stevens.
He helps me hang every show that we have had there in the last 4 years.
How wonderful.
And he helps me lay it out, and we would just walk around. We walk back and forth in that gallery. I mean, I'd say we probably walked 2 or 3 miles that day, because we're just moving the art around constantly and seeing what flows the best, because it's got to flow. So we spend a day doing that, and then the next day we start trying to hang and get everything displayed.
And you said that sometimes you'll have as many as 100 folks will show up the first,
100, yeah.
when you open the door,
Yeah.
and say, this is the gift we're bringing to our community this month.
Yep, yep.
Right.
About 100 to 150 people. We always have a good crowd.
Go back through the classes.
Okay.
The offerings that we have right now for enrichment for our people.
Right now, we're
opportunities.
We're offering pottery and hand building and and that's for all levels. We're offering watercolor classes for all levels. We offer knitting, the portfolio class to the high school and adults. We have the after-school art for children. After the first of the year, we're bringing in a herb class.
Herb class.
In our kitchen. So we've got a big kitchen, which is like a classroom, and a lady's going to be teaching an herb class once a month there. And the first one will be about the flus and colds and what remedies and herbs will help that. We're also going to teach a book class called The Artist Way. That will start in February, and we want to also introduce a drawing class.
We were talking, Cindy Pardue, about developing a culture about the importance of art. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I always tell people, they think art's just a painting, but art's a lot more than that. Art is in everything and everywhere we are every day. Our furniture is designed by an artist. Our wallpapers and our carpets, our graphic design.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Our cars are designed by someone. Everything we have in our life is designed by an artist. There's 252,000 graphic designers in the U.S. alone, because everything we have printed has to be designed by someone. If it's our business cards, our magazines, our cards that we buy out in the stores, or invitations, anybody that's in business has to have a graphic
Let me
designer.
say this: if a person has a will or wants to learn, and they can come to the Wilkes Art Gallery, and we'll find a way for them to learn how to do it. Is that a good statement?
That's what I would like to try to do.
What you would do.
Get everybody I can to do art.
We want to be inviting. We want to be a place. We want to be a home that people want to be a part of this great opportunity. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And we want to thank Wilkes Communications, River Street, and WIFM, and share with the feelings you have about this opportunity to matter in our wonderful community with the Wilkes Art Gallery.
Well, it's just the fact that art is one of the greatest things that we have in our community, and it offers something for everybody of all ages. And we have so much to be thankful for, and all of our members and my board members that help all these things happen every day.
And how many board members do we have?
We have 305 board members, and
Really?
we have corporate board members also.
Yeah. Okay.
And Wilkes Communication is one of them.
Great.
And we need all that so that we can offer as much as we can to the community. And we're grateful for everything that we get.
What a blessing to have you here. And we're open to funding if people want to help us with donations,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.